This week, I would like to get stuff off of that motor, put it on that motor right over yonder, and get it in the car. Can we do it? I don't know, but we got to give her the old try. Rods, pistons, main caps. I don't know what else is in there. They've been soaking for a day or two. That's the first thing we need to do is pull them out and get them outside here on this table. Go to scrub-a-dub-dubbing on them, get them clean. And then we got to get the pistons off the rods. So let us get busy doing that. I forgot that I put the cranking shaft in there. So let me get it cleaned up first so we can get some W&D on it so it don't rust on us. Alright, that's probably good enough. Let me spray it off real quick like and get the WD on it. Before I blow it off with air, get out of here, Mr. B, before I kill you. Before I blow it off with air, let's hit all the oil passages to make dang sure that they are not stopped up. Clean them out too. Go on, boy, before I kill you. Alright, let me get the air a hose real quick like, and we'll be done with that. Let us spray it down so it does not rust. Be sure to spray your Earl holes. You don't want them rusting up either. Alright, let me go set this to the side. I'll start on these rods and pistons. These rods don't really need a whole lot, so they ain't all that dirty. The pistons, I'm gonna try to save them, but it ain't no major deal if I don't, because they're a little marked up. Yes, sir, they sure are. Anyway, let me get all these cleaned up, and we'll go to the press and press these pins out of these pistons. There's one. Rods and pistons are clean. Now working on the main caps. This one here's pretty nasty. Anyway, when I get this done, we'll spray them off with wooders, get them sprayed down with WD. Then we'll try to get the pistons off the rods without breaking them. But if we do, it ain't no big deal. Now let me show you how you turn your cleaning table into your assembly table. It's very, very simple and easy. Take you some old Carbon-Toy device cleaner, spray it everywhere on your table, just like that right there. And you do a wipey wipe. Look at that. Almost brand new. Oh yeah. Let me finish cleaning this and we'll go get them pistons off the rods. Alright, we're over here at Mama's. That's where my press is. Well, it ain't mine. It's one of my nephew's. That's why it's still here and out of my shop. You know, I may ask him if he wants to sell it. If he does, then I'll buy it and we'll take it to the shop. Anyway, here is the plan for right now what we're doing. I want to press these wrist pins out of this rod, but I don't want to just ram them through. What we're going to do, I'm going to set it up over here, give you a little pressure on it. I'm going to take my little torch here, heat the little end of the rod a little bit, not much. And maybe that'll ease it up enough where it'll come on through pretty easy and we won't bust the piston. So I would like to see them pistons. Why? I don't know. I'm a pack rat. Y'all know that. But if I do bust them, it ain't no big deal. Anyway, let me get this set up over here, and then we'll see if we can't press them out. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use a socket. We're gonna put it right here. And I'm gonna run this down. Get a wee bit of pressure on it. Now let me get my little torch and I'll heat that up. Just slightly. There's one. And there we have it. That pressed right on out once I heated that into that rod up. I don't think the piston got damaged, so that's, ooh, that's hot, what that is. Anyway, I got 7 more to go. When I get done, I'll be back. Got them all separated. I only messed up one, and I really don't know how I did it. Right there. I guess my socket got over here on the edge, but I did not see that. Now, I was watching that carefully to make sure that didn't happen. But it's right there on the edge. File that down a little bit. I wouldn't be afraid to use it. No, sir. The reason I'm keeping these is one day we may come across a block, a 350 block, that has no ridge at the top, that probably could be honed out and is a roller motor because it's got the spider bosses to hold down the roller cam stuff. Yes, sir. Might want to turn it into a roller 327. Get a 327 crank. Oh, yeah. Never know what we might do around here. Anyway, we put these in this box here to keep them. Take all this back to the house and proceed to continue putting this motor together. All right, we're back at the shop. Now that we got the old pistons off the rods, let's put the new ones on it. Here's how you know how to tell how they go. Most of the time, they'll have a notch, an arrow, something, a dimple, and that will go towards the front. Let's just say this is where we're working on the driver's side. There will be a notch or an arrow over here normally, but as you can see, this one does not have anything. It does have 2 valve reliefs. When it only has 2 valve reliefs, they go to the top they're pointing towards the lifter valley. So driver's side, this will be cylinder 1. Go just like that right there. Then this is how you know how to orient your rod, because they do go a certain way. Well, there's a couple of different ways you can tell. One, you got these tangs where the bearings hook onto. This is number 1, so it's going to be sitting like this. They always point to the floor. If it's number 2 cylinder, it'll be like this, point to the floor. If you got it like that where it's pointing up, no, sir, that's wrong. Also, the way the small block Chevrolets are made, the passenger side cylinders are back a little bit further than the driver's side. And, well, let me get another rod. You got a skinny side and a fat side. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. That's the fat side, that's the skinny side. Skinny sides go together. So tangs are down. This will be number 1. And then this one here, tangs are down. That's cylinder 2 on the other side. And if you will see, both of the skinny sides go together. Not skinny to fat, not fat to fat. Skinny to skinny, and you'll always be right. It can get confusing. You may have to mark them. I may do that myself, but I know this piston's going to go this way, but I got to turn it over. And I know this rod is going to go like this right here. Got to turn it over. So that right there is how we're going to do it. For 4 pistons, well, I guess all of them really. You'll have valve reliefs that way, and you'll have your tangs going down. Put it in there like that, and turn it around, and we're right. Valve reliefs to the top, tangs pointing down. Let me get over here and show you how to put that piston, that wrist pin in one of these real quick. All right, here is how you put your pistons and rods together. You got to heat these up like we did tearing it apart, but you got to get it a little hotter. Don't want it cherry red, possibly a dull red, but this will be on your flame. And sit here and turn it around, get it hot. Then you stick it in here, because you know this is a press fit. That don't go through there. You got to have it where it'll slip through. So you heat this up, it expands, this will slip through. Heat this up, you already got this in here. Put her in there, slip that through, get it centered up best you can. Don't have to be exact, but you want it close. And then that's pretty much it. Hold it here till it cools off a few seconds, then you can let it go. Also, I already got everything cleaned up. I got earls in each one of these holes. You don't want them dry because it'll take a minute for oil to get splashed up here and oil them once you get it running. So go ahead and put your little bit of earls in there. Have this pin in here already. And remember what we said a minute ago? Valve reliefs that away. And then you want your tangs that way. So I'll heat. Bring it over here, make sure my tangs are down. Go in here, push it through, get it centered, hold it. That's pretty much it. Let me light this and I'll show you how to do it. Remember, tangs down, valve reliefs that away. All right, let's see if that's enough. No, sir, it's still not. Yeah, it is. It is. It went. Oh, yeah. Now hold it. Let it cool. And there you go. All right, it has closed up and grabbed hold of the pin. And that's going to be just wonderful. Like I said, get your pin centered here and here close enough. This one here is not exact. It's probably, I don't know, 50 thousandths that way too much. Don't matter at all. As long as that pin ain't hanging way out, that's all that matters. Anyway, let me turn it over and show you. This is, let's just say this is number 1 piston. Valve reliefs are at the top, tang pointing down. Oh yeah, that's all you got to do. Let me do 7 more. I'll be right back. Last one. Valve relief that away. Tangs down. I think what we shall do now, let's put us some cam bearings in. And I'm not going to give a whole lot of details on putting the motor together. I'll just give you some highlights. If you need that, we'll go watch the motor I built for Dude. And what else? We put one together for Lockjaw. Seems like there's another one. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, just quickly, I put my, well, let me go through this firstly. These cam bearings have a place to go. You look right here on your box that your cam bearings come in. It tells you where they go. They are stamped. This one here is CH-4-3. Come right here. It says CH-4-3. That will go in the number 3 and number 4 position. Number 1 is at the front. Number 5 is at the back. So if it's stamped with that CH-4-3, it'll go in the 3 and 4 position. And my oil hole, see right there? Well, your front one, it'll have 2 oil holes. These ones here, I put my oil hole, see right there, at the 2 o'clock position, just like that right there. And I mark them too, because you can get them backwards. Let me mark them, and I'll explain that, and then we'll go over here and put 1 or 2 of them in. All right, let's get this here cam bearing in. We'll put the number 5 in firstly. Like I said, if you need pointers on doing this, well, go check out Dude. That video, I don't remember which one it was. And you'll get some pointers on how to do this. I left my wrench on the table over there. All right, got that tight. Put that right there. Well, it won't go there, so we'll hang it right here. Gotta get my mark lined up there at the top, my X on the left. Let's drive her in, drive her in. Now, I got to give me a light so I can see what I'm doing. I think we need to go a little more, but let me loosen this and see exactly where we're at. Yes, sir, we got to go quite a bit more. Well, not quite a bit more. Yeah, we got to go a wee bit more. Probably 1/8 inch, maybe a little bit more. Now let me whoop on it some more once I get it back in here. Check it right there. Check it, man. Check it. Check it. Yes, sir. I think we're going to call that good. Let me show you one little trick real quick. Get you an Allen wrench or a 90-degree pick. Bend a piece of wire. It don't matter. And the oil hole in the bearing, stick this in it. There's a groove in this block, and that's your oil groove. And that hole in the bearing needs to be lined up with that groove. And you can tell, just by feel basically, if it's in the hole or not. I do believe we're there. Let me move on to the next one. All right, let's get this next one in here. Line on the top, X to the left. You'll understand that if you go watch Dude, because I explain that on the cam bearings. All right, let me tighten this here nut up back here real quick like. Now we whoop on it with a hammer. You basically want it centered, but I can't see if it's centered or not. So let me unloosen it. Is that a word, unloosen it? I don't think it is. Let me loosen it and pull it out and we can look at it. What do it look like? I'll tell you what, that looks pretty doggone good. Where's my Allen wrench? We'll check it, see what it feels like. Oh yeah, I think we're good there. Oh yeah. Let me move on and do the next 3. I'll be back. Cam bearings are in. Next thing, I'm trying to get all the prep work done today, so tomorrow we can just start putting it together. Let me go round up another engine stand, put that on it. We'll go to tearing the intake heads and water pump and oil pan, all that kind of stuff off. I don't know if I'm gonna video that. Well, let's do that. Yep. All right, fixing to tear this down. Here we go. Till the next day, and as you can see, it looks like a motor exploded. Yes, sir. I got parts all over the floor, all over this table. Got a bunch over there on the weld table. Will I ever get it put together again? Probably not. What I got to do for the next hour or so, clean up all these gasket surfaces off this stuff that I tore off last night. Intake, time chain cover, water pump, oil pan, got to clean it up. Then once I do that, we got to check ring end gap. Then we got to check bearing clearances on the mains and the rods. Got to put the rings on the pistons. Then we might start putting it together. If I can get the rotating assembly in it today, I'll be happy. We'll just have to see. Anyways, let me spend the next hour or so cleaning all this stuff up. Then we'll start checking our end gaps on our rings. I'm over here cleaning on the heads right now. I got one of them done. I just want to show y'all. See how wet each one of them combustion chambers is? That's the first thing I noticed last night when I pulled them off. That ain't from pulling them off and setting them down in oil and water running in them. No, sir. They look like that immediately after I pulled them off. I checked the wear on a couple of cylinders. It had about 10 to 12 thousandths. That's less than the old 327. So this tells me here we had some major ring issues. They probably just stuck to the piston and wouldn't pop out. Yep. That probably never would have cured itself, so I'm glad I decided to go ahead and pull this thing apart and build the 327. Anyways, let me get this clean. I think I'll be done with this and we'll start, I don't know, we'll check ring gap probably. Got everything cleaned up. Now we're working on checking ring end gap. All you do is put your ring in here and take a piston and push it down in there. Well, you see how much. Half inch or so, whatever. See this little white thing? That's an M. If a ring has a marking on it, the marking almost always points up. These are the top rings. The second ring, it's got a little dot dimple. It'll point up too. Anyways, you push these down in here with the piston and get them squared up in the bore. And typical clearance for street motor, stock motor, is going to be 4 thousandths per inch of bore. So we need about 16 thousandths clearance. Well, here's my 16 thousandths feeler gauge. You just stick it in that gap there and see 16 won't go on that one. It won't go on any of these. It will go in this one right here. That's slipping down in there. Just like that right there. And all 4 on that side are fine. But these 3 here are just a wee bit tight. A 15 thousandths will go. So they don't need much. I'm going to file on them just a wee bit. And this should be good. Let me pull these 3 out and we'll get over on the vise and file them up just a little bit. Got my fillet in the vise here. Basically all you want to do is this right here. You do it with 2 hands, of course, but you close it up on that file and just barely scrape it like that right there. Take a little bit off, go back and check it. If it's good, all right. If not, we can come back and do the same thing. Let me do these 3 right here and we'll go check them again. Got these 3 rings filed. Let's see if I got it good enough. Will it fit? Will it fit? Oh yeah, look at there, it fits. What about this one? Oh yeah, look at there. What about this one? Oh yeah. Now that we got them, well, let me tell you this. Once you get them filed, go around the edge of each end and file them a little bit, knock off any burrs. You don't want any burrs. Now that I got these gapped, let's check the second ones, and then I'm gonna put the rings on the pistons, and then I don't know, I guess we'll check main bearing clearances next. I can't talk. What's wrong with me? Got all the rings gapped. Got them on the pistons over there. They're ready to go. Now I'm checking main bearing clearance. This one is about 2.5. Same thing here. This feller here though, I don't know what's going on with it, but it ain't checking very goodly. No sir, it sure ain't. Let's check it this way here. It's showing basically 0 clearance. And see, that way it's showing 3. So something ain't jiving here. I don't know what's going on. Let me check the back side. It's showing the same thing. So something is egg-shaped right here. I don't know what's going on. Let me take this back apart, make sure I ain't got no trash under one of them bearing halves. All right, took the cap off. Both bearings, cleaned everything again. And we has a lot better reading is what we have. Got about 2-ish that away. Let me turn it, or put it on the back side there, see what we got. About 2-ish. I think we'll leave it alone. Most likely what happened, either I got a piece of lint from a rag when I cleaned it off, or when you roll the bearing in, you scrape a little bit of metal off the back. And it could have scraped a little bit behind one of these bearing halves and squished it just a little bit too much. Anyway, you know, you have to be careful about that. Let me finish these two, and I'm gonna take me a break. When I get back, we'll work on the rod bearing clearance. Main bearing clearances are checked. They're all good, 2 to 2.5, except for this fella right here. He was checking 1.5. That's a little too tight. So I did something that I'm fixing to give some of you experts a heart attack over. I got my steel wool out. I polished her up a little bit and got it to, it's a little over 2 now. I'm happy with that. We're done with that. Next, what we're going to do is get these pistons over here on the table, over here in the vise. We're going to get some bearings in them, check the clearance on them. Hopefully they're good. If they are, then, well, we can start putting this thing together. Well, here's the deal, fellers. I've already done 2, numbers 7 and 8. They're showing 1/1000th clearance. Too tight. Now I'm doing 1 and 2 up here in the front. They're showing even less, like 3/4 of 1/1000th. Way too tight. Yes, sir. That ain't gonna work. So, well, if you recall, we had the same trouble with Dude's motor. I don't remember if it was the rod or main bearings that were too tight. I'll have to go back and look at that video. And I don't remember if it was these bearings or a different brand, but if it was these, I'll never buy them again. Let me get online, and well, I'll need to watch that video first and see which one it was and what brand. Then I'm gonna have to order some different bearings. You know, sometimes, you know, these are for 2/1000ths undersize, and sometimes you might have to get another set and put 1/2 of that and then 1/2 of this and mix and match. I don't like doing that, but sometimes you have to. Anyway, let me get online and see what I can find. Let's probably do it for today. I reckon I'll see y'all tomorrow. Tis the next day again. Well, it's actually the evening time. Been piddling around with this and that and everything else today. Trying to get some of this junk out of here. I succeeded with some of it. But then I drug in another old piece of junk equipment. I'll show you all that in a minute. But right now, let's talk about these bearings. I ordered some standard rod bearings last night. Here they are right here. Watched that video on Dude. And it was the main bearings we were having trouble with. They were too much clearance. And it was Clevites, sure was. I may be done with them, I don't know. These ones here, these are the Clevites too, over there. They feel rough. I don't know if they spray this coating on them or what, but they're not real smooth. Anyway, I may be done with them. We may go to a different brand. But I bought, these are standard, you know, we had 2/1000ths wear on the crank, on the rod journals. Well, I got standard. Let's just see if that gives me enough clearance. We may have to mix and match like I talked about. Put a, you know, 2/1000ths under here and then the standard here, whatever. Anyway, let me get that box open and get some put together, and we'll measure them and see what we got. All right, here's what we got. I got my bearings swapped. Well, I put the standard bearings in first, measured. Well, on this one here anyway, it was about 2.5 clearance. And then I decided, well, let's put half and half. Half of a standard, half of a 2 under, and we got about 1.5 But on this one here, I didn't even check the standard. I just went ahead and, you know, did half and half. We got 2/1000ths there. I'd prefer that on all of them, but, well, I ain't gonna get it. Well, I looked in the motor's manual. Let me show you right here real quick, like. On a 1969 327, where's it at? Right here. Rod bearing clearance is 0.0007 to 0.0028. We are within that, so if they think it's all right, well, it's going to be all right for me too. I thought, you know, 1.5 on these would be a little tight, but I think it's better than having it 2.5, which is what it is, you know, with the standard bearings. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to do half and half on the bearings, and hopefully it won't seize up and blow the whole motor up. Anyways, let me get the rest of the bearings swapped out and get them checked. Then we might start putting it together. Well, it is approximately 2 o'clock in the a.m. of the morning, and you can see I still got a bare block. Ain't put nothing together because this little car right here showed up in my shop a few hours ago, and that's what we've been working on for probably about 4 hours, I'd say, close to it. Rebuilt the calipers, let me tell you. That, yeah. I like to meet that engineer. I'd bust him right in his face, probably. That was a pain, yep. Anyway, he's torquing spacer adapter, whatever you want to call them. Then we got to put the wheels on it. We done bled it. We're going to get this thing out of here. Got to get the Forte back in. Let me show you this. When I built the shop, I was going to put a post, you know, right in line with that bay door. But when we set these poles, I saw, well, they're pretty well in line. So, well, you remember here a few weeks ago, me and him tried to push the Forte in and we couldn't. I had to get the tractor. The day after we did that, I acquired this winch and another one. So I got her strapped to this pole, and that's how we're gonna get the Forte back in there, because, you know, we don't have a motor in it. We need to hurry up too, because it's starting to rain, and I don't want it to get rained on yet, because I ain't got, well, I want to put windshield and all the rubber in it. Anyway, we're gonna get this thing out of the way and get the Forte back in here. Be gone, you vile, foreign piece of red whatever. Get out of my shop.
The chain's about to break. It's split about 12 different lengths.
What? That's not welded chain. That is. Y'all know what this chain is for. It's the pull cord on my doors. I didn't realize it wasn't welded chain. Let me fix this real quick. It's late at night. What can I say? There's what's left of that pull chain from my doors. Don't use that to actually pull stuff with. That's got any weight to it. I got a welded chain this time. Let's try this again. Well, that was a very late evening, if I must say so myself. I ain't gonna tell you what time I got in the bed, but, well, the sun was coming up. It really was. Needless to say, it's pretty late in the day today. I had intentions of getting that motor in the car today, but y'all know how things go around here. I'm going to attempt to put the motor together today. I should get most of it done, we'll see. But right now, I got a bunch of, well, not a bunch, but a few things in the mail. Let's start with this one right here. I bought this myself. This is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, look at there. We got us a tunnel ram. I don't really have anything specific I'm gonna put it on, but I've always wanted one. I got one now. I got an idea or two of what we're gonna put it on, but anyway, I'm gonna put that on the shelf over yonder, and we will revisit it one of these days soon, hopefully. Let me get this stuff here up here on the table and we'll go through it. First item we have is a flannel shirt. I need it because I don't know if y'all seen that thing right there. Well, let me show you. It's in pretty bad shape. Yes, sir. Look at that right there. Yep. I needed it. It's actually been a little cool the last couple of days. I think it's going to be cool next couple of days. So I'll have to wash that this weekend and wear it. This is from Angie and Mitch, Sacramento, California. Thank y'all for that. Let me put this to the side. Next, we have a bunch of odd looking wrenches. Let me get some of them out of here. I was hoping one of them would be a 9/16 and I could use it for a distributor wrench, but there ain't no such a thing. Nope, there ain't 9/16 in there. But it is from, let me open this letter. Steve from Oyster Bay, New York. I've never seen some of these wrenches. I'm sure they have a specific reason, and I'm sure eventually I'll probably be able to use them. There's a few more in there. Anyway, appreciate that, Steve from Oyster Bay, New York. That hopefully will come in handy one of these days. By the way, I do appreciate these letters, handwritten or typed. I do like those. Anyway, what is next will be this right here. This is pretty cool. Let me, it plugs in. Let me plug it in real quick, show you. There it is right there. That is really sharp. I really like it. This and that garage, backyard butchery. Yep, that's pretty sharp. Here's just an FYI. I'm not complaining. Do not get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I really like this. But I've gotten a couple of things that said established 2023. This and that garage was actually established in October of 21, just so you know. But anyway, I really like this. I believe Maintenance Kev is his username on the YouTubes. Appreciate that. That is really, really sharp. What do we have next? I think I got a letter up here. Let me open it up. Got me a letter. I'm not going to read it because y'all know I don't usually read these to y'all. Because I don't know if you want, it to be read or not. It is showing how to build a bee trap. Who is this from? Let me see. Andy in Asheville, Ohio. Appreciate that. I guess he's wanting me to build these traps because of, boring bees. I don't have them anymore. Once we keep the thing closed, I'll get a bee in here every once in a while. But other than that, no, so I don't have any trouble with them. But I do appreciate that. Like I said, I really like the handwritten letters. Next is this feller right here. What would you call this? Right angle drill. That's what you call it. This came from, let me open this letter here real quick. Again, another handwritten letter. It is from the Perkins family, Peculiar, Missouri, south of Kansas City, Missouri. Pretty awesome. Appreciate that. I'm assuming my batteries that I've got already will fit that. It should. Let's see. I think it will. Yeah, 18 volt. All right, that's my mail haul for last, I don't know, couple of months probably. Anyway, appreciate that. Appreciate the handwritten letters. If you want to send me something, I usually put my P.O. box address in the description below right here. Appreciate it. Well, I reckon it's time to try to put this motor together. I've been trying to do this for a couple of days now. But before we do that, let me show you all this. Remember I told you I drug this in the other day. It's an old tire changer, probably from the 50s or 60s. Did a little research on it. It's a Bishman model. And I was going to get it going. He got it from the older feller. We worked on his old truck a couple weeks ago, did the motor swap. And he said he used to use it, but then the motor burned up. And I was going to try to get it going, find a motor. But then I realized the bead breaker part, well, it's gone. So I don't know that I want to fool with that or not. I've got to get me a tire changer, though, make things a little easier on me. I'd like to have an old Coates, like what I used to use when I worked at the tire store. I'll have to come up with something. Anyway, let's get to work on this thing right here. I reckon we'll start with the cranking shaft. I'm gonna wipe all these bearings down. I done blew everything out, make sure we didn't have no dirt and crap in there. I got to find my assembly lube. I'll be right back. I found it. All right, let's get us a little bit of assembly lube. Grease these here bearings up. You don't want them dry. No, sir, you sure do not. Grease that thrust surface up to both sides. And then I'll grease the caps. I got to put my seal in, then we'll put the crank in. Here comes the cranking shaft. Let's see if we can get this in here without dropping it. Hopefully we can anyway. Ta-da! All right, let me get my caps on, get them torqued. Just so you know, I marked all of them with a punch, and it's got an arrow. Arrow always points to the front. These caps fit really tight, and about the only way I have figured out to get them down in the register, the Yamaha handle. Do that right there with them. That one there. I can't hardly get to it, but I think it's in. Here it pop. That means it's done went down in the register. Now we can torquelize them. GM does not specify a torque sequence on the main bolts, but like with anything else, I like to start in the middle and work my way out. These get tightened to 70 feetage pounds, and it's good to do it in, I usually do it in like 3 increments. Sometimes I will set this to say 50, do them, then set it to 60 and do them, then 70. And sometimes, like today, I'm lazy. I will just sort of feel, you just tighten them up just a little bit and go through all of them. I got it set at 70, by the way. but I'll just go through and tighten them a little at a time. Cause I'm lazy. I don't feel like fiddling with that torque wrench 3 different times. Anyway, let me get these little fellers here torqued down. I'll go a little bit tighter each time. Now we'll go to the 70 kaplow. Kaplow. Alright, that's got them. Let me check end play on the thrust bearing. Then I guess we need to put the Earl pump on and set the pickup tube height. Motor's manual says 3 to 11 thousandths. I got 4 right there. 5 won't go, but 4 goes wonderfully, so I think we're good there. Let me get the Earl pump put on and we'll start setting that pickup height. Here's how you get your pickup tube into your Earl pump. Get you a 5/8 open end wrench. Just like that right there. Now we gotta adjust the height. Then I'm gonna put me some tack welds on there to keep that from falling off. Alright, I got me a straight edge across my pickup there. And you measure from your pan rail up to the bottom of it with the gasket installed. And we got 6.5 basically. The pan measures 7 9/16. You want 3/8 of an inch clearance. So I've got to raise this up. How much? What was this? I forgot. See, I told y'all I ain't got no memory. 6.5. I need to raise it up 1/2 and 3/16. So let me see if I can do that real quick. Like I say raise, I mean lower. We're at 7 right there. Let me go up a little more. I guess actually I probably need to be out here, don't I? We'll try it right there. Right there. What do I got now? I got 7 and 3/16. If I got any better, I don't know what I'd do, I'm telling you. Let me tack this on with the welder and we'll be done with that. Oh my knee, oh my knee. Alright, I got her tacked. See that right there? That's beautiful. Let's get this thing in here a cheer. We'll get her torqued down real quick like. Clicker, clicker. Alright, I reckon now, let's flip it over and put us some pistons and rods in it. This is a brand spankingly new ring compressor, let me tell you. You just might see it slung across the shop here. I'm telling you, it's just being aggravating. Anyways, let's get this piston in here. Remember, valve relief's up, and you make sure your tang on your bearing is pointing down. Now I got to turn it and put the cap on. I'm not going to torque it down right now. I'm just going to put it on there real quick like. I need to get this on down here though. Oh yeah, right there be good. Remember, your tangs go together also. All right, let's get this next one in. Do not forget your hoses so you don't mark your crank up with them rods. Also, know, by the way, the ring compressor had heard me talking about it, so we went to cut the bleeding everywhere. I had to go get a Band-Aid and make it stop bleeding. All right, let me get the others in. Ain't gonna bore y'all with that. I'll be back when I get done. Last one, and here's the deal. I have changed the way I'm putting this ring compressor on because it's just, I've never seen one so stiff. The mechanism in here, extremely stiff. So instead of putting this on over there at the table, I go ahead and put my piston in. And I get my rings like I want them. Make sure my Earl ring is right. Yep. Then, while I got something to hold that piston sort of steady, then I put this little fella on here and tighten her up. I've never seen one so tight. All right, let's see if I can drive that in. Ta-da! Also, no, by the way, why did y'all let me put that Earl pump on there knowing it was going to be in the way? Why did you do that? Torquing down the last rod bolts to 45 feetage poundages. Then I think, well, I'm going to run them over one more time, check them. I think I'm going to take me a small break, get me a sandwich. Then we'll come back, put the cam in, timing chain cover and all that, and turn it over, put the Earl pan in, and well, we'll proceed to continue. Flip it back over and put the heads on it. Oh yeah, we're getting a little closer all the time. All right, let's go over the head. Put this here Kamalama Ding Dong in. This is the same cam that was in the 283, if you recall. It is a, what they call a, is it a 151 cam? It's the same cam, basically, that they put in the 350 horse 327s back in the day. Will we make 350 horsepower? No, sir. Because our compression ratio ain't going to be quite as much, but hey, it'd be nice if we could make 300 out of it. Yes, sir, it sure would be. Come on now, there we go. Oh, yeah. Now what I want to do, put the timing chain on, then the timing chain cover. I got a different cover than what I normally use. Put the damper on. I want to find top dead center because I've got a timing tab that we got to bolt on and make sure that it's on, top dead center. Got to make a piston stop if we're going to do that. So let me drop that bolt, then we'll get the timing chain on. All right, here's our timing chain set. And if you recall, this is the one that was on this motor. Remember, we put a new timing chain on it when it was in dude because it got real slack. So we're going to reuse it. I need to get a wrench and turn that crank. Get dot to dot lined up. Well, that's pretty close right there. So let me take it back off without moving the cam. We'll put the chain on. All right, dot to dot. See if we can get this here on here. Oh yeah, that is almost perfect. All right, I'm gonna put one bolt in just to hold it. And I got to put Loctite on these other two. I'll torque it down. I got to look up what the torque spec is because I can't remember. Then I'll show y'all my new timing chain cover. It's called a two-piece timing chain cover set. This is like your regular old stock cover, except it's missing the front. You use a regular gasket for it. You bolt it onto the motor. It stays. See the little place for the seal? It stays. Then you got this gasket and you got your big cover right there. Goes on like that. The reason I want this is, well, that's one of the things I don't like about small block Chevrolets. You have to drop the oil pan to pull that cover off. It's a little aggravating. Kind of dumb that they did it like that, but anyway. The only thing I don't like about this right here is these little Phillips screws right here. They go here, here, and here. And y'all know how Phillips screws do. Them heads are going to strip out most likely. If I can find me some small Allen head bolts, I may put them in there. But anyway, that's what we're going to go with. Mainly because, all I got to do is pull this front off right here if I want to either put another timing chain on it, or maybe we want to upgrade the cam eventually. You never know. Let me get this put on. Then we're going to put on the balancer. Well, yeah, we're going to put on the balancer. We're going to find top dead center. I'm going to make me a piston stop. We're going to make sure our timing tab, I got a timing tab over there somewhere, I think. I'll go get it. And we're going to find true top dead center. That way we know where we're at when we go to timing it. Let's get us some RT and V on this little feller here. Just like that right there. And our gasket. Titan. Then this piece goes on, just look at it right there. Then I got to put the seal in this front cover. I forgot about that. Let me do that. I'll be right back. All right, let's get this little fella right here in place. I know some of y'all have told me before that I don't need to tighten this up till I put this on. That way we can center it better. Well, fellas, it's got dowel pins here that locates it, and you can't move it. So there's really no need in doing that. I can't get that one to go on the dowel pin. So what is going on? Interesting. Well, I'd be willing to bet money if I got that package over there, looked at it, I bet you money it'd say made in China. I would almost bet everything I own that is made in China. Yep. It does not want to fit. Sure don't. There, finally it went. All right, let's see if we can get this little fella here installed. Well, I think that's it. Approximately right there. Let me take this off. And we'll make us a piston stop so we can find top dead center. Here is my piston stop. It's just a piece of flat metal bolted to the head. You got a bolt in the middle sticking down just a little bit for your piston to come up and hit. What you do, you rotate it clockwise till your piston hits that. Mark it on your flywheel where 0 is. Turn it counterclockwise till your piston hits the stop. Come over here and mark where 0 is. Measure that distance, divide it into 2. That's your top dead center mark. This ain't, dead nuts on, but 1 degree, it ain't gonna matter on this. Anyway, let me set the camera up and we'll find top dead center. We'll see if our mark here lines up with 0. All right, let's see what we got. Rotate clockwise till we come up to our stop. You don't want to ram your stop. Just watch it. You can feel it when it just touches right there. Now let me find the 0 on this timing tab. We'll put us a mark right there. Now we will go counterclockwise till we hit our stop. Approximately right there. Find the 0 right there. Now let's rotate this back on top where I can see what I'm doing. Right there. Take you a tape measure and measure between the 2 marks. We got 1, 2, 3 inches. So halfway is 1.5 inches. And if you'll see, that's our line on the damper. It's at 1.5 inches basically. It might be a degree off. Like I said, I ain't worried about it. Excellent. We know that is timed right with our timing tab now. It's getting kind of late. I told y'all I got a late start today. Well, I didn't go to bed till the sun come up. So, yeah, I got a late start. I think this is all we're going to do tonight. Tomorrow is Sunday. Sunday's a day of rest. That's what I plan on doing. We'll finish this motor up Monday. Now that we know where our top dead center is, let's pick back up with putting the Earl pump on, Earl pan. Then we'll flip it over, put the heads on, and just keep on our trucking. Oh yeah, let's get her done. Get the Earl pan on. 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 We tighten this into 70 feet pounds just like we did the mains. All right, let's get the Earl pan on. I mostly put our TV right there in that corner. I dab some in the corners here real good too. before I put these oil pan the end gaskets in. Then I will run a little bit of bead all the way through here and continue putting it in the quarter here. Dab in the quarter, run all the way up it here. Once I got these two end gaskets in place, I'll dab some more in this quarter. I hate oil leaks almost as bad as I do exhaust leaks. I do not like them at all. Let's put our beautiful chrome Earl pan on here now. All right, let me run over these by hand, make sure they're tight. You know, if that cork gasket will keep on squishing. Then we'll flip it over, put the heads on. Before we put the heads on, let's get us a measurement here from the top of the piston to the deck. That way I can calculate my compression ratio a little bit better. Now this is not exactical precision type measuring. This is what you call eyeball precision measuring. I think that's at the top right there. I'm gonna measure at the top and the bottom. Oh, you know, we got piston rock. And I'm gonna average them. That's 25. That is 20. And then this thing here is how thick? It is approximately 90. So you got 10, 20, and 30. I done forgot what my measurements were. Y'all remember this right here is 90 thousandths, so I've done forgot what I measured. I'm telling you fellas, I do not have a memory. My mind is shot. That's 25. I think this one was 20, if I ain't mistaken. Yeah, it's about 19. So 20, 30, and 35 will be 32 and a half. That's the figure I was using. Let's check one more. I'm just feeling of when it stops going up. You know, it'll dwell a little bit. You can get it pretty close. Let's check it right there. What do we have on this one right here? 22 or 3. This one here, it's 14. I'm gonna continue to use the 35 thousandths figure. And if all my other figures are right, we got about 9.5 to 1 compression. I'm good with that. I was contemplating using steel shim head gaskets instead of these ones. This is what come in that rebuild kit, the gasket set. These are 39 thousandths compressed thickness. Steel shim is 15 thousandths. Give us a little more compression, but well, I just don't want to risk it. We'll use these. These are pretty good head gaskets. They seal up really good. Maybe later, if we ever get like aluminum heads or something for it, we might put those steel shim gaskets on here to raise the compression a little bit. This will be all right for now though. All right, let's get these here heads on real quick back. We are using brand spankingly new head bolts. I figured I'd splurge a little bit on this here motor. Last time I put heads on a motor, I think it was the 283 we just pulled out. I made this little fella right here. It's this torque sequence. I got tired of trying to look on my phone and come do it, and look on my phone and come do it. So I said, well, let's just make this. We set it right here. Makes it so much easier. Head bolts get 65 torque-a-lorcas, but I like to do 45, 55, 65. That little gun I used, it does around 40-ish. So it's probably done the first step for us. Well, maybe not. That was 45 right there. I'm just going over them again, make sure I didn't miss any. Next, I reckon we'll drop the lifters in and start adjusting the Valverinis. if you're ever going to reuse a cam and lifters, well, it's a good idea to put them right back like they were. As you can see, I got this marked front, rear. I even marked this with an F and an R. Now, some of the old timers, they'll tell you, oh, we never broke cams in. We didn't care where the lifters went, we just put them in. And that may have been true back then. But nowadays, with the crap metal that we've got, yeah, you might ought to put them right back where they were. Let me get some assembly lube put in these bores real quick. These have been bathing in Earl. It was in this little tray already. I'm still going to put a little bit of assembly lube on the bottom of them too. All right, let me get the push rods in, we'll adjust the valves. Here's how you adjust the valves, how I do it anyway. You want to make sure you're on top dead center. There's 3 or 4 different ways you can do it. But I'll make sure you're on top dead center. I watch the intake valve. Actually, I'll put my finger over the spark plug hole. When I start feeling compression, I'll come on up a little bit more to make sure, you know, this is off the base circle. Then what you do is you spin that push rod back and forth, just like that right there. Spin, 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 till you feel a little resistance right there. And I'll go, well, you go quarter, 3/8, half. We'll go 3/8, how about that? That sounds pretty doggone good. Do the same thing to the next one. Oops, went a little too fast right there. Spin, spin, spinny, spin, spin. So you feel a little bit of resistance right there. That's about 3/8. Good to go. Now, you on some of these nuts, these have, no, they don't either. Yeah, they do. They got the little, I don't know what you call it, like a flange on the nut. Some of them don't. And you can actually push down on the rocker arm itself with your socket, and it'll feel like you got resistance. Just be careful of that. Anyway, what I do is, this is number 1, and I'll go through the firing order, 8, 4, 3, 6, 5, 7, 2. You know, I'll just keep rotating this over, about right in that area there. I'll just keep on trucking through the firing order. Anyway, let me get this done. I'll be back. Well, I got the headers on, but I can't put the motor mounts on because I don't have any freeze plugs. I might go to Ireland here in a little while and get some of them. Also, I was going to put the water pump on, but look at here. Oh yeah, it hits. See that gap there? That gap there? Oh yeah. I was kind of worried about that, so I reckon my worries came true. I'll have to find me some 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch spacers here, or make some. So yeah, but let me tell you what I did a minute ago. I went over here to my Earl cabinet, got me a gallon of oil, proceeded to dump it off in here, and well, it was used motor oil. How in the world it ended up over there, I don't know. I guess I did a oil change, poured it back in there, and then forgot about it and thought it was full of new oil, put it back over there. Yep, sure did. I wiped it all out and took the drain plug off the oil pan, and nothing come out, so I don't think I got very much in it. Got it filled up with new Earls. Got my drive in here, and we'll get the old Wrist Breaker 6000 drill out. See if we can get a little bit of Earl up here on the top. All right, let's get us some Earls going. Got some right there. Some right there. There. Waiting on right here. No. So let me turn the crank over. Because of the way this Earls, you know, your lifters will block off oil flow. Sometimes you have to turn it around a little bit so the Earl can get in there. Right here. Oh, we're making a mess. We're making a mess. Making a mess, man. Come on. Got Earl's pumping to all of the rocker arms. Got the valve covers on because I was making a mess. Speaking of valve covers, we may not be able to use these because I gotta have a PCV system. These valve covers don't have holes in them, and this 327 does not have the hole for the road draft tube. Remember on the 283 over there, that's where I was putting my PCV valve, was back here, because these don't have holes. So, about the only thing I can do, well, I can drill a hole in these. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to mess them up. This is a hole already here, goes all the way through to the lifter valley. We could put a PCV valve there, but I'll have to build a baffle underneath, or I'll just be sucking straight oil through it. And I don't really want to do that. I got some tall chrome valve covers over there with the holes in them, for PCV and fill. We may end up running them. I really like these, but, well, I don't think we're going to be able to use them. If we use those other valve covers, I'll probably take that off too, just put a freeze plug in here. I got to decide what I'm going to do about all that. Also, the intake is not bolted on, as you can see, because if you remember, we still had some leaks right here on these two fittings. I'm going to drill them out for the next size up pipe thread. Hopefully that'll take care of that. And I may have to drill this hole, depending on what I do with the PCV. I don't know just yet. I gotta decide what I'm going to do. I don't remember if I told y'all or not about my rod bearing clearance. Number 1 and number 2, that journal had a little less wear than the others, so those are the two that were the 1.5 thousandths clearance. The rest of them are just a hair over 2 thousandths. That's what I wanted. That's pretty awesome. Oh yeah, I think it'll work just fine. Wait a minute. Y'all know what we keep forgetting to do? Oh yeah, we ain't mark nothing off here in 2 or 3 weeks. Let this go through and see what we can mark off. Nope. Yep, on the running boards, got that. Nope. Got the drive shaft done. Acceleratory device is done. Fix carburetor devices before they kill us all. Oh, that's when I thought it was running rich. Never mind about that. Build 327. We have assembled it. We've honed it. We bored it. We're done with that. Build hone and tub. We did that. Oh, we marked off a bunch. Yes, sir. Anti-ways. We ain't going to get everything marked off, but we'll get enough marked off. We can drive a little fella on down the road. Oh, yeah. Well, we're out of time for this week. Didn't get done what I wanted to, as usual. I wanted to have that motor in the car, but didn't have it. Anyways, it'll be all right, fellas. We'll get it next week. Got to do freeze plugs. Got to do the intake stuff. PCV valve. Got to get the clutch and stuff on. Got to get spacers for the water pump. We couldn't have put it in anyway, see? Hopefully, once we get this motor in next week, we can work on the brake issue, put some shocks on the back, and I don't remember all the other little stuff that I'd come up with. Oh, yeah, that trunk lid rattling. Good gracious, that thing's loud. It really is. Anyways, hopefully we'll get all that stuff done too. Dare I say it? We'll be done with this next week. I don't know, probably not. Y'all know how it goes. But we're going to give it a try anyway. Appreciate y'all watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe. Share it with your friends. And until next time, go do something. Blur, blur.